would like to welcome Professor Brian Kennedy, who is visiting Poland for the first time, and I'm very pleased to have you here today in our Longevity Center.
Well, thank you for inviting me to Poland. It's a pleasure to be here. So I'm a director of the National University of Singapore Healthy Longevity Program and the Center for Healthy Longevity, and we're trying to develop strategies to allow people to live longer, healthier lives.
Thank you. And this field is developing currently very, very quickly in the last few years. Where do you see the fastest growth for the future?
I think that the problem with the aging field has always been that there hasn't been enough money to do the research. And what is so exciting is that the private sector has finally gotten excited about longevity, and they believe that we can actually do something. So there's a lot of money coming in now to develop ideas and come up with interventions that might slow human aging.
So not only funding research, but also funding applications physically.
It's translational. So almost all of the aging research has been basic and non-translational. Mm-hmm. And that's important. We learned a lot of concepts about aging that are essential to know if you're going to do translation. Mm-hmm. But now we're at the stage where we need to validate that we have interventions that actually slow human aging. Mm-hmm. And so it's very translational, and that's an important transition that's happened, and now it's nice to have some resources to do those tests.
And we see also more and more biological aging clocks becoming available, which are helping us to better understand, on one side, human health in general, but also human aging. Which of those do you feel are most interesting at the moment to look for?
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, we still don't know which the most important clocks are going to be. Right now, the most advanced one is the DNA methylation clock or the epigenetic clock. Mm-hmm. And this is an exciting clock because it measures your biologic age. It measures your risk of mortality and onset of disease. And it seems like when we do an intervention that slows aging, it actually reverses that clock. So it gives us a way to measure whether interventions are working or not. So some other clocks that are developed in the future might be the same, as good or even better. But right now, this is a great tool to use to measure human aging.
And I think it's also for people interested in this field. It's not only the rocket science solutions that we are waiting for, like the one pill that will solve all the problems, but it's also how to measure whether this is the right type of diet or exercise for you to keep you healthy for life.
Exactly. Don't you want to know your real age? Well, I don't know. Not all people do, but I do, certainly.
What is real age, actually? Is it actually what you have in the passport, or is it really how you feel? Or is it really how it comes out on your biological age?
Well, I don't think what your passport says is all that important. I mean, maybe it defines a range of what your age can be in, but there's a lot of variability. If you just take 5 people who are 50 years old and put them in a lineup, like you do in a criminal lineup, and look at them, they won't look the same age. Some people look 40, some people look 60, and that's probably because they really are biologically aging at different rates. And so I think it's really important to know the biologic age. If I'm 54, and if my biologic age said I was 63, then I would be really motivated to do something to change that.
So what does it actually say?
According to the last test, I'm 42. So
now, as well, I am about 40. I'm 49, but at the moment, my biological clock is around 40. And but in terms of my other aspects, my cognitive aspects, I'm even younger. And I think this is also very, very motivating for anybody coming to the field to see that we can actually measure various interventions, whether they are much more advanced biologically or molecularly advanced, or just simple diet and exercise. I think this is...
And people always ask whether cognitive age or physical age is more important, and the answer is yes. You can't easily disentangle the two. I think they're related to each other. Your metabolism affects your cognitive performance, your mental outlook affects your behavior, and that affects your physical performance. So we need to measure both of them, but I think they're equally important. And I don't want to be physically healthy with Alzheimer's, and I don't want to be mentally healthy with frailty. I want to be, I want to be out doing my running and playing golf in my 80s
and enjoying your life.
And enjoying my life, yeah. And I think that's what the promise of aging research is. We're not going to wait till you get sick and then spend a lot of money trying to treat you. We're going to try to keep you healthy and functional as long as possible.
So what can we do to actually translate this into medicine and make it more available in the medical field, to bring more doctors being open to these opportunities?
Yeah, I think it's been a long process. You know, I have this slide that says aging drives all these different diseases, and I realized I've been using that slide since 2006. So we've been trying.
I think we were all using the same slide.
I think we've been pushing this concept for a very long time, and you know, clinicians, they want to help people. You know, they've put a lot of time and effort into trying to treat people and make them better. But they've been taught this reactive form of medicine, mostly.
Maintenance.
Yeah. Well, it's reactive. It's like, wait till you get diabetes and then do something, or wait till you get mild cognitive impairment and then do something. And I don't think that works very well, because think of it this way, you know, while you're still healthy, you have this homeostasis or equilibrium in your body that's keeping you healthy. When enough things go wrong and you spin out of that equilibrium, you get some disease.
Yeah.
But at that point, you're out of equilibrium. It's almost like trying to reverse entropy to bring you back to health. Whereas while you're still healthy, it's much easier to keep that equilibrium and maintain it. And so I think that that's going to be a much more effective strategy to improve quality of life. It's going to keep you healthy longer, but that's not how most physicians are trained and how they practice. And so what they do is important. If I get sick, I want to be treated.
If you have an accident or anything.
Yeah, I want to be treated. I would have been dead, you know, from my car accident if I didn't get treated. It was important. But I think we also want to avoid that for as long as possible. And that's by going after risk factors. Biggest risk factor by far is aging.
And to know exactly what your particular personal benchmark is actually based on your genetics, family history and epigenetics, so what's actually good for you. Even if sometimes you, I don't know, eat sweets or drink alcohol or get out of the
Alcohol's not necessarily bad, be careful.
Depends on the numbers, I think. But then to know what is your benchmark and what to come back to.
Yeah, I think that's good. Yeah, I want to know where my health status is. Mm-hmm. I think that's very important. And now we have a way of measuring that. And that's much better than anything that I think has been developed previously.
Perfect. I hope this is the future of medicine as well, of actually healthcare rather than sick care. Yeah. What about supplementation? What do you see? How many supplements are you taking, and what are you
I take
recommending?
Only Rejuvent, which is by this company Ponce de Leon Health, and the main product is alpha-ketoglutarate. The main reason I focus on that one is it's my own research, or partly, that developed that, and I think it shows a lot of promise. There are a lot of supplements out there, though. A lot of people take NAD precursors. There's others there, and I think that's okay. My view on supplements is we need to make sure they're safe. We can't be out there selling things that may not be safe, and I think that most of the supplements in the aging field meet that criteria. And then, you know, we're still collecting data. We don't know all the outcomes in humans yet, but they show promise. And I think if people want to try them, then that's okay. The one thing I would caution against is taking 15 different things or even 3 different things, because these supplements interact with each other. And we have very little understanding about which 2 things might be additive when you put them together, and which 2 things might counteract each other. So I would say, you know, if you're looking at this, start slow, pick 1 or 2 supplements you think might be good for you. You might consult with people who have expertise.
But you need to know whether you need them at all.
Yes, and so getting things measured first would be a good idea. And then also, don't forget lifestyle, you know, the sustained exercise, healthy diet, these things work. And so we might find supplements and drugs that work even better. I think we will, but you don't have to wait for that. You can
do one without the other. I mean, your lifestyle has to be somehow balanced.
Yeah, I don't think in the near future we're going to find anything that says, all right, just take this pill and you can go sit on the couch and watch TV. I think that's unlikely. I think that you're going to get far more benefit if you're active, exercising, thinking about your stress that you have in your life, things like that.
And trying to be happy and positive and have passions in life.
Yeah, the glass should be half full.
Thank you, Brian.
Yeah.
It's great having you here.
Oh, my pleasure.
Thank you.
Thanks.